Don't know what to think, but here we are in this ring. It seems so far from the truth, and I go hide in the booth. Can you feel the movement or spin? Can you see the curvature bend? Do you see when they spray the skies and they make up lies and do it again? Man, who's really in charge? How long has the lie been hidden? How long has time been broken? Cause every season is different. They tell you climate is changing. They say the global is warming. They think you'll need a vaccine, otherwise you'll die without warning. God put the stars, the sun, and the moon in the same sky. God put the devil on earth and let us reside at the same time. Maybe cause angels betrayed God all over a slut lust. Then there was a reset, some of us call it a mud flood. Firmament permanently fixed to a plane, perfectly placed, impervious escape for the human race. This is God's work, so ask God first every day. And it's not curved, it is straight. It is not a planet, it's a plate. This the other side of Hell's Gate.
What's up? Well, there goes Templar again. I don't know why he keeps popping offline. Let me see. Are you there?
Yeah.
Ooh, this program's
like,
tripping.
Dude, it's like a fucking poltergeist every week. There's something new, right?
Every week, yeah. Oh, man. Welcome to the Mainstream Monday, everybody. I'm your boy, Snoop. With me, as always, is Mr. Templar. Dude, let me just pay the bills real quick and promote a little place called phoneboothpodcast.substack.com. That's where you can find all these amazing podcasts, all kinds of amazing content. Dude, this one right here, the Boston event, Real or Psyop Part 1, Ted and I did about the Boston bombing, and it was so good we're having to do a Part 2. So that's exclusive for paid members only. But there's tons of content out there for free subscribers as well, for all the pores, as the NDS says. Go check it out. You got the Phone Booth podcast, Here's the Thing podcast, the Pick Is In podcast, the Philosopher King podcast, and the Great Mind of Madness. And after you get done watching some podcasts, go to Can-Am Bullion and look at what's on the rise. Gold, silver, platinum are all on the rise right now. Now we are not. Last week. Once again, we are not financial experts, but it just seems a little safer to have your money in precious metals and something other than dollars, because dollars seem to be pretty unstable most of the time. So.
And Can-Am Bullion actually does have professionals that can consult you about your money and opportunities. So you don't have to take our advice, you could reach out to them and talk to the professionals.
Talk to Michael Piccioni. I hope I didn't say his name too bad.
No, you said it right. Yeah.
But he can give you all kinds of advice and tell you what's up with the metal.
The world's most popular precious metals.
That is canambullion.com. Everybody, go check it out. What's up everybody in the comments? Cram, what's up? What's up, Templar? What's up, Cram? What's up, Mr. Stumbo? How you doing, brother? What's Cram say? Put another quarter in it. Mainstream Monday. My body is ready. Ooh. What are you doing over there, Cram?
I like it, dude.
You got your lotion out and everything?
Yeah, Cram brings the energy, doesn't he?
Yeah,
he really
dude.
Does.
I love his videos that he's been doing, his clips that he's been making.
Yeah, little clips. Ooh, hell yeah.
Fire.
Yeah. He knows what to clip. That's my problem. I fucking will dribble on. He knows how to zone in, dude, and it's a talent, Cram. Keep it up, dude. He's jerking it up.
Nothing, dude. I just want. It's exciting to know that I'm the face you're looking at while you're jerking it.
Right.
That's a compliment, I think.
Hell yeah, dude.
Oh man. So, dude, we got a lot that we want to talk about today. I don't even know if we'll get through all of it, but I guess we should probably start with our cover story. The wedding heard round the world. Miss Taylor Swift has married Mrs. Travis Kelce. And fuck you, Chaz. Yeah, right. Come on, man.
That's hilarious.
So yes, Taylor Swift, Travis Kelce got married in front of 1,000 of their I was gonna say friends, but more like I don't know, what do you call them? Associates or cult
Fellow
members?
occultists?
Yeah.
Dude, I mean, there was a pretty big who's who on the fucking guest list, though. I mean, it seemed like anybody who was reasonably popular was there, or at least made the appearance. You could go into the tent and never be seen, but a lot of people wanted to show off that I'm at Taylor Swift's wedding. I'm cool.
Yeah, so they had it at Madison Square Garden, which is a huge venue, and they only 1,000 people. So imagine that 1,000 people in Madison Square Garden. Damn, she can't even sell out her own wedding. It's terrible.
Dude, did you see they had like police working it and they had the fucking barricades out and shit?
Yeah.
Like, I wonder how much they spent on that.
$50 million was what the total cost I heard for the wedding was. $50 million. So I don't know how much the security costs, as far as the the police and whatnot, but I do know that they do have to pay for it. So I'm not sure because they have to pay for the police, and then they had it indoors, so they wouldn't have to rent porta potties and stuff like that. But
right.
that all comes out of their pocket. Yeah. Dude, I wonder if you need a low latency link if you keep dropping out like that. I don't know where to get them. Let me see if I can.
How much do you think they raked in from that wedding? Because if you think about it, right, if you go to Taylor Swift and Miss Kelce's wedding, right, like it's a time you got to kind of showboat a little bit, right? You can't be the guy with the shittiest gift or the woman with the shittiest gift, right? You got to like earn your prestige, don't you? Like, so what do you think? You think people are just dropping 10 stacks, 50 stacks? I mean, what kind of gifts do you fucking give at a wedding like that?
So here's one for you, Templar, is they were giving out gifts to the guests.
Of course.
And I heard they were giving out like Cartier watches and shit.
You know her wedding was probably fucking sponsored by the NBA or some shit, Like, has no... But she's a billionaire too, so 50 million plus, she probably made it overnight.
Yeah, I mean, he's probably got to be worth 100 million himself.
Yeah, and plus he had that Pfizer contract.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
So he probably made pretty good money on that, and I'm sure whatever the fuck they got going on, with sponsorings, yeah, they're doing good, man. They're never gonna want for money.
Did you hear who played their wedding? Like who performed at their wedding?
Yeah.
Paul
Adam Sandler?
McCartney. Well, Adam Sandler officiated the wedding.
That's right. Right. Yes.
So I didn't know he was ordained, but yes, he officiated the wedding, and then Paul McCartney performed at it. Like
that's I wouldn't have thought her as a Paul McCartney guy, but I guess it would make sense. Huh?
Well, yeah, I mean, aren't they all Tavistock, CIA, mind control, children of Satan?
Dude, everyone's there. Fucking, they even had peons like Machine Gun Kelly and fucking, like everyone's coming out to make their scene and walk the red fucking carpet, pretending like they don't want to be bothered. Then why the fuck did you go out there? You could have stayed in the tent and went inside, But of course, they want to start for the cameras and act like they don't fucking want you. Get out of
here. Yeah. So I don't know if Dolly Parton was there, but apparently they donated $2 million to her Imagination Library.
Right.
And so she put out a little thank you video here, and this is pretty fascinating. Let's watch and then we'll talk about it.
Oh yeah.
Taylor and Travis, it's Dolly, and I was just told that you two are making a donation of $2 million to my imagination library. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm blown away and overjoyed with that gratitude. Now, it's evident that you two have made giving back a key part of your lives, so, hey, when you have your firstborn, can I have it? Because that is going to be one special baby. You know, the mission of the Dollywood Foundation is to dream more, care more, learn more, and be more. And thank you again for your very generous gift. And we'll continue that mission, even in bigger ways now with your money. So thank you, and know that I will always love you. Mwah. Taylor and Travis, it's Dolly.
Well,
and I.
So what do you think about that? She wants their firstborn, and she's flashing the devil sign, as she says it. Right? And she only, let's point out, she only did that sign for that one, couple of words that she said there.
Yeah. And the way, like, she tries to be so slick about it. She starts with her hands down here, kind of interlaced or whatever. And then as she's talking, she brings that up. And then she starts exaggerating her facial expressions because she knows that's going to catch your attention. And then she flashes the sign and then slowly slips her hand out of it. You know what I mean? Like, she was very, very fluid with it. When I saw it, the only reason I knew it had been because it gives you away in the picture. So I was like, what the fuck's going on here, dude? I had no idea. It doesn't surprise me, but dude, like, she did it so slick, bro. So I bet you if we go look at like past videos with her in it, you're looking for it, we'd probably find shit at this point. That's what that tells me.
I would be willing to bet that we would as well. I mean, I really feel like you can't have the kind of reach that these celebrities have without making the deal.
That's right. Because you're a security risk, right? If you can impact millions of people, right? And you can impact their perception and what they see as right or wrong or worth fighting for, then you're absolutely a national security threat. So who gets to that level? Superstars, super movie stars, super music stars, super athletes. You know what I mean? In each category, you get these superstars. Ain't no way they're giving you access to that many fucking people if you're not under their thumb. Because if you start spouting off some like fucking, John McAfee type shit, it's harder to rein you in, or they got to fucking crash your car or get you in a helicopter.
Let's not leave out politicians out of that too.
Right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. That's just kind of like a norm. I think people recognize more so that politicians are, but I think they get surprised when they find out a favorite celebrity is because their association tends to connect it to politics. I don't think they understand how that back ring really works, how it's all kind of connected.
Yeah. So people may or may not wonder why I had Anton LaVey in the thumbnail for today, officiating the wedding, even though Adam Sandler was the one that had done it. But there is some speculation out there, and I think with pretty decent reason. A lot of people want to think that Taylor Swift is the granddaughter of Anton LaVey, who's the founder of the Church of Satan. And she does resemble what would be her mother, Zena LaVey, pretty good. I got a little video here we can show on that.
Yeah, this really is spooky. Like how fucking, look at that, bro. If the makeup was different and the hair was done, the same, and if Taylor took some of that black shit off her eyes right there and like dressed up trying to look like her, 100%.
Yeah. We'll watch it again.
Yeah. That one right there is fucking...
This one?
Look, Yeah, that one right there. If you didn't know, if you took away Taylor Swift on the left and you put that picture on the right up with an article about Taylor Swift, I bet you most normies, they're not getting it. They're thinking that that's Taylor Swift, 100%.
You know who else it kind of reminds me of is Nicole Kidman, like when she was young, and she's another one that her dad was into some weird shit.
Yeah.
So, like if you look at,
she's one who got tied in with all the NGOs and goes before the United Nations and fucking
yeah. So it's interesting to think about. Let me hit some comments real quick. There was one I wanted to address here. Oh, hey, Chaz. Yeah, we're going to talk about that coming up. It's in our list of things to do. What up, Bill?
You know, talking about the back room of this shit real quick. You know, that's how they got Anne Heche, right? Like she started opening her mouth on Ellen, right? And she started talking shit and talking about who Ellen really was. Next thing you know, her car fucking slams into a tree and then backs up and accelerates and smashes into a house. And then they strap her down and fucking she pops up before they put her in the ambulance. Nothing weird about all that. Only in Hollywood can that story happen and it not be like fucking national headline news with massive investigations on, you know, like why did she pop up? And then they took her off a ventilator and she was, you know, pronounced brain dead 6 days later. You know what I mean? Like it's like they got it there, but everyone just kind of backs up. Like people online, you know. I'm out.
Yeah, so I guess that pushes Vince down to number 8. Oh boy, it's the gift that keeps on giving. Yeah, that I mean, how is that even possible? Like, I didn't know that it hit a tree before the house.
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yep. Yeah, it fucking crashed. Then it backs up, and then it accelerates, and then runs into that fucking house. And
let me ask you a question.
She didn't have any narcotics in her system, to my knowledge.
Let me ask you a question. They said when that happened, they said that that car was on fire for quite some time. Like, how could anybody in that car survive being on fire that long?
I don't know, dude. The whole thing's sketchy, dude. I never seen somebody pop up like that, dead or whatever, which is, to me, why they came up with the she's brain dead, because I think they wanted to basically sell the underlying premise that, oh, it was just like reactions, you know, like fucking, what do they call them, body reflexes and shit. You know what I mean? No, she didn't pop up. She wasn't okay.
So they're saying that it's like body, like reaction.
Mm-hmm.
How does a okay? I'm gonna just entertain that for a second. Okay. I could see that maybe, but how does the body reaction unzip the fucking body bag and then jump out? And didn't she swing at the fire department as well?
No, her hands kind of like flopped over to the side and she's kind of like leaning forward. And their reaction is pretty much to like push her down and get her ass into the thing. Like, oh shit, you know, it from the chopper, everybody's surprised. Do you know what I mean? Like when you see the chopper footage and you hear the guy, you know, it's like an oh shit moment because anybody recognizes like that's not normal, dude. You know, like you never see that. And just, yeah, so like you said, for her to just unzip it, no, dude. There's so much going on with that story that we haven't heard. After she was put in the ambulance? Exactly. Right. Because that's one of those situations where, you know, like, you can't be seen by the public. You can't get out of this shit alive, you know? That's my premise. So, yeah, God knows what the fuck they did. And to be in a situation where you know that the people around you are fucking these devious degenerates, you know, and that they're willing to take your life, that would be insane how crazy that is, dude.
Oof, man. You know, um, do you think we've seen the last of Ellen? Is she gonna have some sort of comeback in her career? I mean, she's kind of. I'm not gonna say she's off grid because I mean we all know where she's at in England, and she's built a massive farm and whatever. But I mean, is she gonna come back to Hollywood? Like, is everybody waiting for Trump to be gone?
No, no. I think Ellen's reputation is like damage. I think everyone realizes that behind the scene, she was a total witch. You know what I mean? But she put on such a great forward persona for her audience and all that. And once that cat was out of the bag, a lot of that charm that she has wore off because you're like, oh, you're a fake bitch.
Do you think she had anything to do with the guy that was on her show that allegedly committed, unalived himself? The performer guy, the black guy. I can't remember his name.
I don't really remember the story. Yeah, pull it
I'll
up.
pull it up.
Yeah, it'd be a nice refresher.
Um,
It's interesting. Like when Diddy is on the show with her, right? There's an old video with her and Diddy, and they're sitting on these two couches side by side, and you could see like Diddy is like almost like he's threatening her, like one sidedly. He's saying shit, and then she's getting uncomfortable, and then you see him like reach out and like make contact with her, like basically hold my pocket, bitch, and then she has to like hold his hand, and it's like you could see him issue this dominance over her, and it's like, oh yeah. He starts saying, "Oh, let's talk about the party," and you're like, "Oh, let's not talk about that."
yeah. So this is DJ Twitch was his name, and he was like a part of her show. Um, I guess he was a hip hop dancer, choreographer, actor, television producer, and television personality. But yeah, he allegedly committed suicide in
How?
2022. I don't know.
Go to the Wikipedia. It'll probably have it there. It's the second or third one down. Oh yeah, there you go. Even better.
Oof.
The program he was featured. Keep going. Early life. Keep going. Rick Run. Career. 2003.
He was found dead in Encino. His death was ruled a suicide. He was 40 years old. It doesn't say.
Not the method of suicide. Maybe he shot himself in the back of the head. I mean, that seems popular with people in certain circles.
DJ Twitch.
You're gonna get like some self-harm fucking thing. Here, call this number.
Yeah, probably. Nearly 6 months after. Oh no, come on! I don't want to pay for it.
Superman.
Gunshot wound at a motel. Self-inflicted gunshot wound.
Yeah, I bet you if we track down that autopsy report or something, we'll find something interesting. Now I have something to look into.
Yeah, right. Let me see here. We kind of got off topic a little bit.
Right? Like I don't know what his relationship with her was, but if it was anything meaningful, it's kind of like the Obama chef, right? Like, oh, suddenly I didn't know how to swim, right? Like these things happen. It just happened. Nobody did it. Just these things happen.
Okay. Like I get black people don't know how to swim, but he was in 4 feet of water. Like
right. But he was a known well swimmer. That was the thing. Out of all the things he could have done.
He was also a military guy, so I got to imagine he knew how to swim. And he was a big guy, in shape, jacked.
Right, and like you said, 4 feet of water. If he got on his hands and knees, he could have just lifted his head up and go.
Yeah.
It's sketchy. And what was he on? Like a little paddle board or a fucking kayak? So it's like he was about ready to go out. It reminds me of that movie Enemy of the State.
Mm-hmm.
when the senator is at the thing feeding the ducks and the NSA agents dudes like run up on him and shit and fake his death. It's like, in my mind, that's what I envisioned happened to the chef.
Yeah. He worked for who did he work? Did he work for Bush or Clinton before Obama? He worked for one of the other presidents as well.
Yeah, I don't know who it was. I just know it because when he died, they had mentioned it, but I'm not sure who it was. I would think maybe Clinton, and they kept him on. You know what I mean? Because it would be weird that he was there because Clinton was on for 8 years. You know what I mean?
But, Obama is a member of the Bush family.
Correct. Very true. I mean, he could have been for a few of them. So, I'm uncertain of what it is.
Yeah. Let's shift gears. Another thing that was popular this week is Mr. Paul Pelosi was charged in a hit and run. And I heard today they're talking about revoking his driver's license as he's now had a few driving instances. This was a hit and run, and his other one was a DUI, I believe.
Mm-hmm. But which he got a sweetheart deal on, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And he tested 0.000 on his blood alcohol level this time, so they don't think he was impaired. That's not to say he couldn't have been on something else.
Right.
Maybe too many blue chews from having sex with his boyfriend who hit him over the head with a hammer. Who knows?
Did they release the body cam?
I do not know.
Because I would be interested, because my guess is if they're saying he blew 0.000 whatever, right? I'm willing to also bet that they probably didn't release the body cam. That would be my bet. And because that, it's like a don't ask, don't tell. And we'll hold it back from the public as much as possible until the charges get settled. And then you guys can find out afterwards and be upset about it. But, his liberty hasn't been taken.
Yeah, like Chaz says, he left the scene and then he had to stop farther down the road because his car apparently wouldn't make it any farther.
Bro.
How come these people can get away with shit like this? I mean, nothing will probably come from this. Yeah, maybe they'll take his license away, but that's a slap on the wrist as far as I'm concerned.
Right. And with the unknown hundreds of millions of dollars that they've made, he can afford a chauffeur. Let alone, I'm sure technically he gets Secret Service coverage because he's Nancy Pelosi's husband, right? So he would be entitled to that.
Does he still get Secret Service? Not anymore, because she's not Speaker of the House anymore.
But
so I think that might go away. I don't know. Does Congress? They don't get Secret Service protection, do they?
Certain people get it for life, and I think she gets it because she was Speaker. Like the president, vice president. There's certain cabinet members. Like you'll get it for life. And they'll extend it out to like members of family and stuff like that. But regardless, he could at least afford a fucking chauffeur, so it's not going to be any sweat off his ass. But it'd be interesting to find out if he is entitled to Secret Service, because then that would beg the question, well, if you have Secret Service that could chauffeur you around everywhere, why did you not want them around, right? Like, why are you off driving? And then that would also raise suspicion on, is the body camera released on that? I'm sure they're going to say, no, it's not because of an ongoing investigation or some shit, or we'll hear it got erased or the officer didn't have one, or any number of the same old excuses we've come to know and love.
So I have it right here. No, Nancy Pelosi does not receive Secret Service protection, as the agency is only responsible for protecting the president, vice president, and certain other officials, not members of Congress like her. The protection of Congress members is managed by the U.S. Capitol Police. So I wonder.
That's right.
I wonder if the Capitol Police,
when dude broke in with the hammer and shit, and the other thing was that their shit was like monitored, but then it was like turned off, or there was no footage, there was nothing, and They're like, yeah, it was in the Capitol Police jurisdiction, and yeah.
So yeah, I do remember now that you say that. They had like cameras probably that go to the Capitol Police. But now, if this is in California, do the Capitol Police even have jurisdiction there? Can they even do anything,
Capitol
or do they?
Police
Or do they just report it to the local authorities? I would imagine.
No. They have nationwide authority. Anywhere they got business, they have authority. So by nature, she could be in Texas or whatever, and they have authority. They have jurisdiction just by, the act. As long as that's.
Pinkertons control them, not protect them.
Yeah, they're all puppets.
What were you saying?
Did you ever see the old? There's an old Art Bell episode, and it's alleged that it's Nancy Pelosi who calls in.
Really?
Right?
I wonder if Chaz has. Chaz is a big Art Bell fan. Let us know, Chaz, in the comments.
So, like, she calls in, and it was talking about, I want to say it was like haunting or possession or something like that. But the lady in the thing even talks about, she didn't want to give her name. She's from a really affluent family. And it sounded like it was something that was, like, in basically, like, the time frame of her, like, early years in Congress. Like when she was still younger, whatever kind of thing. Maybe even younger, but Nancy Pelosi calls Art Bell. But you don't officially know it's her, but it sounds like her. Sounds like her, and what they talk about gives that vibe.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I would have liked Art Bell, but I just never really got into it. I know a lot of people love Art Bell and his programs. I hear about him all the time.
He helped keep me up through the night.
Like a lot of people, Vegas is, alien capital or whatever. So, he's real popular around Vegas. Like I said, Chaz is a big Art Bell fan, so maybe he knows. But another Congress member in the headlines this week was your boy Mitch McConnell, who was found unconscious and required CPR. His wife, Elaine Chao, traveled to Beijing to meet Chinese Vice President Han Zheng. Chao holds no government role, having resigned after January 6th. The former Senate leader is incapacitated. Why did she need to visit the second most powerful man in China? Is she Chinese? Is Chao? Is that a Chinese name?
Yeah. So is Zuckerberg's wife, and so was the chick that fucking Eric Swalwell was with, and
So she's probably a spy too, then, huh?
I mean, one could make that inference.
Another honeypot.
And so look at this Mitch McConnell thing, because the same exact shit happened with Dianne Feinstein, right? She was older than dust, and we found out, like, the bitch was in a wheelchair and had a drool cup, right? She was out of it. And then there was, like, this keeps happening, because even before that, who else? There was somebody else who we went through this with. It's like the third time we see this, where someone becomes so...
Wasn't it a Supreme Court? Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Oh, Ruth, that's another one. That is another one, but there's another congressperson. So, great point.
I think I'm going to change my screen name to Truth Bader Ginsburg.
Dude, she was feisty. I actually liked her, dude.
Yeah, it's crazy how they just keep propping them up, but it's because that's how they control some of the votes, dude, this dude, Mitch McConnell here, he's stroked out on TV a couple of times now. Remember, he just freezes up.
Right. And all they need is a body in the position, right? So what the public don't know. So fucking while he's zonked out, well, somebody's performing the duties on his behalf. Somebody's going along with that system, right? And they want that. And because Thomas Massie, they just spent $32 million to get Thomas Massie out, right? He's extremely popular. Well, if Mitch McConnell is fucking incapacitated, right? And he can't hold office, he needs to go. Well, then that opens up that seat. And guess what's going to happen? we're probably going to see Massey end up getting right back in, which is what they don't want, which is why they're doing the whole fucking weekend at Bernie's routine, right? Like fucking, hey, Mitch, you good? Right? And it's not going to be until he absolutely flatlines or someone probes long enough to find out that he already did. And then they'll be like, oh, he just died. You know? Like, they just need the fucking body.
Why not just replace him with a clone like they do with so many others? You know, like they got how many different ones of Biden, you know?
Well, because they have, well, that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe they don't have a Mitch McConnell model. Maybe he was too fucked up. Maybe then, I don't know, you know? Maybe it's the turtle DNA just like fucks the game up, you know?
Heroes
That's
in a
good
half cell.
question, though. Like, why don't they just, I don't know. I guess, I don't know. Maybe, maybe he was before, you know, maybe he doesn't have the compatible parts. I mean, he's a fucking dinosaur himself, right? So he's probably the beta model of whatever. Maybe they can't reclone him. Maybe he's a clone, an early batch. And maybe that's why he fucking lost his jaw, you know? Like, that was the discrepancy between him and the original, was that he doesn't have a fucking chin anymore, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy though, right? That somebody who holds such an important role, right, can be incapacitated, lights out, and like that's able to be hidden for so long, right? Because all this shit happened, what, like a week, 2 weeks ago is when it started. So it's like he's been out of action all that time. He's a very important man, holds very important seats. So the public has a serious interest in the matter. So who's doing his job? Who's watching out? And if he can't do it, then we need to get somebody in there who can, right? Like, there's an issue. If health comes and you can't stay in office, then you can't stay in office. You know, the man, I'm sure, has got a fucking pension and God knows how much money coming to him even when he leaves, and government fucking medical and shit. They got the best medical plan, right? So I think it's because they don't want to shake the apple cart. They don't want to. They didn't want it to get out, right? Because now there's going to be more awareness, and then you're going to see contention, and then, you know, they're probably going to lose the fucking seat. Plus, Republicans already have like a semi-minority right now. So if he loses to a Democrat in Kentucky, I doubt it, but if he did, you know, that could also ruffle the apple cart. So there's like a variety of reasons that you could see why, you know, just in the numbers or whatever. But it's crazy that this could go on for so long.
Well, you know, it begs the question: should there be term limits for Congress members?
I don't know if there have to be, because it's the people who vote them in, right? When it really comes down to it, it's supposed to be our vote. So if we don't want somebody in, we don't vote for them. But since the system is so broken, I guess you could. But then the other problem is, when you first get to Congress, your first problem is, as you're starting, all the laws and shit from before you are taking effect, right? Like, those are coming down. And you're the new guy on the block. So there's all this shit that's already falling and changing that you got to catch up on. And you got a network. So by the time you really get your feet planted and operational again, it's pretty much time for re-election, right? Like, your whole first years of service, you're kind of a lame duck just by the way the system's set up. So it's not until your second term that you really have a chance to do anything, for the most part, right? Unless for some reason you're a hotshot freshman and you gain notoriety, which then comes power.
Yeah. Did you ever see the movie called The Distinguished Gentleman with Eddie Murphy?
Yes.
So that movie's fantastic. I remember loving it as a kid. And in that movie, and so you've seen it, but I'm telling the people out there, this guy basically runs for senator. And well, what happens is the senator that was running passes away, and this guy Eddie Murphy has a similar name to the guy, so he runs on the same name, and it's Johnson, you know, which is a common name. Trust Johnson, the name, you know, like that's what he runs on, and he wins, and he gets into Washington and finds out that, and before he runs, he's a con artist. Like, you know, him and his group of people, they're con artists, and then they're like, oh, let's con our way into Washington D.C. with this, and they do it, and then they get to Washington D.C. and realize how fucked up it is. You know, it's really pretty accurate. You know, and one of the things that he realizes in that movie is you have to join these groups. Like as a freshman, you know, you get on these packs or whatever, and that's who's really controlling everything, you know? So you think you're going to get in there and make a difference. Well, not really.
You know, another movie that really shows a good aspect of the inside of all that is, what was that movie? Not W, but it was about Dick Cheney and George Bush and Bush coming into power.
I didn't.
Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, it sounds familiar, but I didn't see it. It's pretty recent, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's probably maybe 10 years old at this time, but it shows Dick Cheney basically the path he took into power. Him being working the oil rigs, and then he goes and runs for Congress and gets in, and he's like when they're in orientation class, he's finds out from the other guy, like, what team are you on? Oh, I'm a Democrat. Okay, I'll be a Republican, and then you hear them talk about, basically attached to this and do that, and they lay out that freshman orientation really, really well, which is cool because that's not really shown to the public, and it's got all those guys,
Well, yeah, that's what I heard AOC did to get in office, is that she was truly a conservative, and then she decided to run as a Democrat just so she could get in. And that came straight from her ex-boyfriend, is the one that said that,
Dude, they've groomed her. They've set her up to be like Nancy Pelosi 2.0. Like they've taught her how to talk to people politically, right? To political doublespeak, what things to avoid, when to leave an issue alone. They try to bring her out only in points to make her seem important, to try to get away from that, she's dumb kind of persona. Like, so I think they're going to try to push her at some point here in the future as a presidential candidate. If she doesn't make a run for it in this next election, then you'll see her as like their flagship candidate probably in the next one. That would be my guess.
Do you think she can overcome the lack of brain that she?
No. Just like Kamala Harris couldn't, right? Like, what a person is. You can fool people by limiting access to that individual and allowing them to like maintain a persona for a short bit of time, but that person's not going to be able to think on their feet. That person's not going to be able to sustain that, unless they're really sharp, which she isn't, right? So it'll start falling apart the more access you have to kind of probe, because they're going to put her out there, let her do the talking points, short, sweet. It's all about the public image, and then they're going to get her the fuck out of there because they don't want another Kamala, right? Fucking word salad. And I mean, she was just, but they tried to just like kick her to the public, like take her. Yeah, you had Joe, you know what I mean? Like, dude, and it backfired, which you could almost argue was intentional, right? The whole Joe Biden era and everything that got excessively bad. Like it was like everyone just turned their back and walked away. And it's funny how all this has worked out for them now, So maybe it wasn't an oopsie. Maybe they were all in on it together.
It's funny. I was just sitting here thinking while you were saying that, because you just mentioned that like a Pelosi 2.0, and then we're talking about Kamala. So I started thinking she's Kamala 2.0, and I had just heard was yesterday or today that AOC was a high-end escort, and that's how she got in with these people. And then I started remembering, well, shit, wasn't Pelosi like hooking up with Ronald Reagan or something back in the day, or JFK back in the day, maybe even?
I don't know. I know she comes from a very affluent family, and I think it's like Pelosi? One of those like politically affluent families. So
her dad was the mob boss. Her dad was the mob boss of Baltimore.
That makes fucking perfect sense. I didn't know that, but it makes perfect sense. Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Yeah, so she grew up as a not only a psychopath, but she understood how the game works, and she got better with it as she was in Congress and playing that advocate for your rights shit. People ate that up. That's crazy though. I didn't know that shit about her dad. Fucking duh. Yeah, that makes so much sense. That's why she has that sustainability, huh?
Yeah, let me see if I can find anything on it real quick. Thomas D'Alessandro. Thomas D'Alessandro Jr. was Nancy Pelosi's father, was alleged to have connections with organized crime in Baltimore, although he was a prominent politician serving as mayor and in Congress. Allegations of his involvement with local mobsters and favoritism in city contracts were noted during his political career. So, yeah, I mean, he more than likely was mob.
Yeah, yeah. That makes so much sense, dude. Thank you for the insight, dude.
Oh man, it's crazy. I could see AOC being Kamala 2.0. I could really see that happening. It already seems like they're grooming her for that role. I mean, shit, there's already talk of her
Erica
running.
Kirk.
Yeah, there's already talk of AOC being on the ticket. This coming election in 28. Probably Gavin Newsom and her maybe. Take the money out of politics.
The Supreme Court literally like a week ago just released a ruling on this, right? And basically what they said is that corporations have the right to, anybody, that you can have unlimited money with spent on the campaign and in conjunction with the campaign. So basically, they just did the opposite of what needed to be done. Yes, we need to take the money out of politics, and they were just like, nah, just bring your fucking dump trucks over and just let that shit loose, dude. Like they blew the fucking doors open. So you're just gonna see like the infestation. And while that's going on, I just watched a thing about how there's a bill that they passed that lets them fucking not tell you about all the expenditures and the diversions of money and shit, and they get to do it under national security guise, right? So there's already all kinds of financial fuckery going on that they're legally not able, that they can hold back away from you under the guise of national security, of course, right? So you don't get to go and look at the corruption. And now they're just like, here, take more money. It's fucking, we're in a rough spot.
Yeah, it should be illegal. I mean, I think individuals should be allowed to donate to campaigns. I think there should be like maybe a cap on that. Call it 1,000 or 10,000 or whatever it should be. Because you've got corporations, which corporation is just an individual under a fucking different name.
Yep.
And that should be illegal. They're bribing politicians by doing this.
The company is the individual, right? The company doesn't get to vote, but the company can massively outspend you to force a candidate in, right? Mm-hmm. So what we need to do is take fucking companies and anything outside of people, right, away from politics. If it's your money as a person, if you got $100 million and you want to give $90 million to a candidate's fund or whatever, then okay, fine, go ahead and do it. It's your money, it's your speech. It seems excessive, but I could get behind that at least. But if you're like a fucking corporation, an NGO, you know what I mean, political pact, that money's got to go the fuck away. But the problem is they're just increasing it, right? They're just figuring out new ways to come in and financially usurp the system.
Yeah. Not only this, but you know what else I think needs to happen is I think we need to take away these exorbitant salaries that these members are getting because, there's not supposed to be career politicians, right. But these people get in and they see the paycheck and the money they get while they're working. Then they get their paycheck for life after that. They're through their pensions, plus the healthcare and everything. They're supposed to get a per diem. That's the way it was designed. It was to get a per diem, you know, and that's to keep things fair and to keep things like this from happening, because this is what happens when you have career politicians, you know, and it's supposed to be that any one of us could get elected. You could get elected. I could get elected. You know, Joe the plumber could get elected, or, you know, you don't have to be
That's the idea.
You don't have to be some leader of industry to become president.
Right. And what they've sectioned it off, right? They've made like subclasses essentially, right? And then they can outspend you. So you can't even get the exposure because they'll buy up all the airtime.
Yeah, I agree with Chaz on this. Every politician should have to wear a NASCAR jacket with the logos of who was giving them money. Absolutely. Yep. Take away their ability to buy stocks. Absolutely. You know, why hasn't that happened yet? I mean, it's so blatantly obvious. These politicians pass bills and they've already making moves on the stock market. You know, dude, why isn't that illegal?
They come out to defend it, and they say, you know, we're coming out as, you know, politicians. We just make a little bit of money. You know, it's the only way we can make money if you let us, you know, insider trade on stocks. It's like, wait a minute. You're literally saying we're coming into office, not as public servants, but to enrich ourselves. Hey, come on. Just let us come into public office. And since we're here, right? Since we're here in public office serving you, let us engorge ourselves with your money and then with other money. Like, what? How, you shouldn't even be able to fucking say that without getting arrested. That's how corrupt it is. That can be said and nobody's locking them the fuck up.
Do you know who the biggest employer in America is?
Walmart?
I believe they're second. The U.S. government is the U.S. government is the number one employer. I said I believe Walmart might be second. But yes, the U.S. government employs more people, and the salaries that these people are getting is fucking crazy compared to, you know, what the average American is making. You know, like, I know you watch a lot of the audit videos like I do and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And some of the good ones where they go into these offices, you know, they'll point out, hey, this city manager is making $200,000 a year. You know, why the fuck should that happen? You know, I agree they should have a nice salary, but I mean, they shouldn't be making, because we're paying for that. You know, well, you and I pay for that.
They make that argument when you ask that question. The argument that I usually hear come back is that, well, you know, we need to pay them a competitive salary. Otherwise, you know, like, nobody's going to want to come. Then, dude, if you're going into fucking public service to get rich, you're already a problem there, right? Mm-hmm. Like you're saying, if you're going there to provide a service, then you should be okay with, hey, you know, like, I'm able to maintain a living, right? They shouldn't be broke. Give them something reasonable, but you can't fucking crash out on money because, yeah, like you said, it's coming from all of our pockets. There's no spending that doesn't come from taxation.
Yeah. And all the overtime that they get, dude, it's incredible. It's really incredible. Yeah. And I didn't realize how bad it was until I started watching some of these audit videos. And I'm like, holy shit.
Do you notice how they usually will have like a salary, and then they'll have a benefits package, and then they'll have like a bonus package, and they'll have all these subsidiaries, and then that'll inflate their thing. So even though their base salary might be $150,000 or $160,000, with the benefits and bonuses and all these little things, not counting overtime, it balloons to like $250,000, and then they get massive. Yeah, dude, it's crazy.
It's disgusting.
Yeah, month-long vacations, all that. Yeah, they get the best medical. They get the best vacations. They always vote themselves a raise, and a nice hefty one too, right? But the federal minimum wage is like $7.25. So if the federal government could have its way, fucking you. At minimum, they're saying, well, you at least have to pay that person $7.25. Unless they raised it recently. They might have raised it to 10. But last I looked, it was like at fucking, you know, 7 and change. You know? Like.
Yeah, you said the minimum wage, right?
Goes up.
Yeah. Yeah. I believe it's still around $8, something like
Yeah.
that.
Dude, you couldn't rent an apartment on that.
Yeah, states have their own minimum. Well, it's crazy. Like where I live right now, I went to get some prosciutto, from the deli, right? And they were closed. It was 4 p.m. and they were closed. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? And he's like, yeah, well, we can't get anybody to work. I'm like, what do you mean you can't get people to work here? I was like, well, how much are you paying them? And they said minimum wage, which in Arizona, I believe is 12 something, maybe. I think maybe it just went up a little bit. But when I asked, it was 12 something. And I'm thinking, well, shit, a 1 bedroom apartment is costing you, with all your utilities and everything, you're looking at $2,000 for a 1 bedroom apartment. How can anybody afford a $2,000 place to live every month when you're making $12 an hour?
Right. That's not even $2,400 a month. So pretty much after taxes, you can't even afford the apartment. Fuck alone anything else.
Fuck electricity, dude. Electricity's $500 a month out here.
And that's just going to keep going up too. Now that we get data centers and, like all our new friends.
Yeah. It's fucking crazy. But let's move on, man. We got some other stuff to talk about. What do you want to get into next? Do you want to get into the poop content?
Oh yeah. We could do that. Yeah, let's splash into that.
It's right up my alley. Well, before we get into that, I wanna show this too, because this is kind of maybe along the same lines of it, and there's not really a lot to talk about with this, but so the elites are pushing fake lab meat, processed junk on the rest of us so they can keep the real natural food for themselves. Straight up, the good stuff is probably already being shipped off to their bunkers. And so I got a video here talking about that. Let me bring it up. Don't come around here no more. Ah, damn it, the music.
Just hit mute. There you go.
Yeah. So Tyson Foods is the primary chicken supplier for McDonald's, KFC, Taco Bell, Walmart, and Kroger. So that's kind of scary because that's a lot of, the country's food supply. Just Walmart and Kroger alone is.
That's right there is massive, right?
Yeah.
Dude.
And yeah, it's crazy how many places this Tyson Foods supplies for restaurants too. The chicken places, like your local places.
Yep. Yeah. Actually, funny enough, I grew up in the restaurant industry, right? Like flipping tables as a server. That's kind of where my wings spread. And what you learned and what has become even more emboldened is that everybody gets their shit from the same providers, and today it's even more so. So you think because you went to, Frank Zappo's on the corner that it's a mom and pop shop, so they got something different than fucking Cane's Chicken or something like. Well, not Cane's. Cane's has their own unique thing, but it'll be the same as some shit that's in, one of your major fast food restaurants, right? It's the same stuff, and it's spread around, so it's. The only difference is who's preparing it, and how they present it. It's all the same shit for the most part. I think there's 2-3 providers for the restaurant.
Yeah, one of the big ones is Sysco.
Yes, yeah.
And Sysco provides meat to Costco too. So you think you're getting decent meat from Costco? Well, it comes from Sysco. There's a butcher near me, and I always thought it was good, but I recently found out that they get their meat from Sysco as well. A local butcher shop. Now, a new local butcher opened up, and they're growing all of their meat is grown here in Arizona. So much better to shop there than this other butcher,
Dude, and while all this is happening, the prices are skyrocketing, right? Because why? They've dwindled our food supply, right? So they could start pushing this lab-grown shit that they own patents on, right? Because then, like they get to pocket more money, right? And they can put whatever fucking funky shit they want in for us. Oh, they're a little too hyped up. How about a little fucking lithium or, some shit to, who knows what the fuck put through our shit, or what the chemical concoctions, create once they get inside of us.
Well, you know what's the really frustrating part of all of this is that it's unnecessary. At the end of the day, there's more than enough room on this planet for all the animals and people to grow their own food and everything. Cow farts aren't causing global warming. I don't care what AOC says. Dude, like, there's an abundance, like, how fish tanks take care of themselves, like, you keep certain fish, it balances out. Well, guess what? The planet is the exact same. It's all in balance. It balances itself out.
Yep.
Like, you want to say that cow farts are bad for the environment and whatnot, but guess what? Though that shit that goes into the ground is a natural fertilizer that helps plants grow and keeps the thing spinning.
Right. And methane has a purpose. That's the thing, right? Like, they're convincing people that the natural order, the natural process is the problem. Oh, don't drink normal milk. No. You got to pasteurize the fuck out of that before you get it. And we got to put our shit in it, right? You can't have that. That apple? No fucking way. We got to put our shit on it. You can't have that, right? Like, there's a movie where there's something like that, where it's like, all the peasants ate bullshit, and then, like, some dude comes up from, like, peasant realm, essentially, right? And he gets to, like, eat real steak and shit with them. Like, this is a great example of us getting to that point. We're right at that point where they're gonna start giving us fucking, I don't know, what was the name of that slop, where it ended up being people? Soylent Green, like, they're gonna give us some multi-mill fucking, it's just us. Like, they're gonna just, I think they want to get rid of us. And to also answer your point, I seen a thing that said that you could take everybody in the world and give them, like, some pretty good space, and they would all fit in Rhode Island. So imagine what would happen if you gave them a big old state like Wyoming. But we have this whole planet, so yeah, there's plenty of space, unless you're an elitist, and then the rest of us are trespassers.
Yeah, crazy. But I played this because we're getting into, I guess there's explosive diarrhea going around the world.
Yeah.
And I don't know what's causing it. I want to play a short little video here. It's only 22 seconds long. Shout out to Donut. And he's saying CERN is giving people explosive diarrhea. And we'll get into that after the video. But check this out.
Yo, happy 4th of July. CERN was shut off, and tons of people are experiencing massive diarrhea. Now, is this true? It's a strange theory, but CERN gets shut off, and people are having explosive diarrhea. Put your comments down below. Is this happening to you?
How's your bowels been, Templar?
My bowels have been all right. I've been fucking, like, drained and tired and almost like achy, but not overly achy. I just feel heavy and just kind of uncomfortable and slow and fucking drained. I had to take a fucking stay awake pill, to hit the podcast. I felt drained, just drained.
Where do we get these stay awake pills? And what are they called? I'm tired of drinking these energy drinks, man.
I got mine from the dollar store. It's just your local caffeine pills, right? It's like 200 milligrams of caffeine. It's called, like, Stay Awake. So, like, if you need to be alert, it's supposed to, like, rejuvenate you.
Yeah, it's funny.
Worked, I think
we were talking before the episode, and then we were saying both of us feeling the same way, just kind of just tired and just it's crazy. Like, I don't understand why it's happening.
So what if we're all getting sick because of whatever they turned off, or whatever, our bodies are so used to a certain point of it or something, or it created a certain function, and certain people are having a visceral reaction because that's no longer there, maybe?
Or, well, like you said before the stream, when we were talking, you said, maybe it could be from the chemicals they're spraying on us.
Right. That's my take, is that I think it's either through the shit that they're spraying, like the glyphosate kind of, shit that they put on food, or it's a byproduct of the shit that they're releasing on us in the sky. And that's why this is all related to and fruits and shit that's outside. So something is falling on the stuff, and if you don't wash it off, it gets inside you. And they said it's some kind of parasite thing or whatever, but they're like, oh, if you wash off your thing, it's called like Clara Sana something, But
So
I guess
yeah, I got what you're talking about right here. Shout out Wall Street Apes. An outbreak involving a parasitic infection called cyclosporiasis is, quote, large and growing in Michigan, where more than 300 cases have been confirmed, and the CDC is monitoring cases in, guess how many other states? 17.
Interesting.
There have been 145 more cases in the U.S. across 17 states, with 20 hospitalizations. Cyclospora cayetanensis is a microscopic parasite. It spreads via contaminated food or water, often by fresh produce like cilantro, basil, raspberries, snow peas, or leafy greens. Main symptoms are severe, watery, and sometimes explosive diarrhea. Others, loss of appetite, weight loss, stomach cramps, bloating, and gas, nausea, fatigue, low-grade fever, and body aches. And the symptoms can last for weeks.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, let's check out this video real quick.
An outbreak involving a parasitic infection is, quote, large and growing in Michigan, where more than 300 cases have been confirmed. And the CDC is monitoring cases in 17 other states. Cyclosporiasis is caused by drinking water or food infected with the parasite. That can be fresh produce
water
or contaminated water. Doctors say the telltale symptoms.
Well, plants are mostly water.
So there are 300 confirmed cases in Michigan. Nationwide, there are an additional 145 cases across 17 states. So this is pretty widespread. There's 20 hospitalizations. There's no deaths yet, so that's good. So what's happening here is it's being spread through contaminated water and food, things like cilantro, basils, raspberries, snow peas, leafy greens. And here's where the symptoms come in. You can have severe, watery, sometimes explosive diarrhea, loss of appetite, weight loss, stomach cramps, bloating, gas, nausea, fatigue, low-grade fever, and body aches. And it can last sometimes for weeks if it's untreated. You don't want to have explosive diarrhea for weeks, so what you want to do is definitely get some antibiotics.
Well, I mean, it just, goes to show you that, hey, vegetables is not the way to eat. Go carnivore.
Did you notice? So everything that he said is all shit that would be blanketed if something was coming down from the sky to contaminate, first and foremost. Second thing is, I wonder, why have we not had an outbreak of this specialized parasite before? And also, I would add on to that question, why did this start in the same area? Almost like a 0 point, right? And then my next follow-up question would be, what is the makeup of the communities there? Is this from like a bunch of Haitians, stuff like that? Because then what you need to really take into account is if something's brought with the person, right? Because there's different sicknesses and viruses and shit between cultures. It is so. It's just the nature of the case. So, or they're testing something out, and that's kind of ground zero, and it spreads from there. You know what I mean? So I'm very questioning and suspicious about, like, this just shows up, and there's all this information on it too, right? Like they know, but it's like I never really heard of anything like this. I know we get E. coli and shit like that, but like. I'm not blaming the Haitian, I'm just saying it's a realistic possibility that anytime you have a culture that comes from far away, they have different temperatures, they have different viruses, you know what I mean? So it could be something. It could be something that was introduced into our environment, and that's why that's what you're looking at. What changed in this environment to make this manifest? Because it's starting out there, and it's kind of blooming out. So it says that there's more to the story. You know what I mean? Like, why isn't it like? Boop, boop, boop.
Are they just spraying Flint water on their crops? Is that what's going
It
on?
could be. I don't know. Isn't that shit like on fire even when it falls from the sky? I mean, that's pure damn near chemicals. Flint's got it bad, dude. They got fucked.
Another one is starting. Remember the last one. Leave toilet paper for the rest of us. Also, you can go to luxbidet.com, get a bidet, use promo code Snoop, and it will give you a sweet little discount. Dude, I'm so pissed. I bought some toilet paper about 2 weeks ago, or fuck, it might have even been 3 weeks ago, and I accidentally bought one ply. Now I have the bidet, so you know the toilet paper is just kind of like a blot dry at the end type situation. So the 4-pack of one ply that I bought is gonna last me probably 2 to 3 fucking months because I barely use it. But god damn it, for the next 2 to 3 months, I'm using one ply.
I feel you.
Like, oh, it's terrible.
What if, and just as a what if this whole, like, right, that they're pushing is really just fucking marketing from big toilet paper, and they want everyone to go and have a fucking toilet paper panic? Oh my god, I might be shitting myself. Let me go get some toilet paper, Like, maybe they picked up a few things from the pharmaceutical companies.
Oh yeah, Lord Sharman is coming to get us. Oh man. It's all for the fraud money. Michigan has mastered the fraud game. Yes, they certainly have.
What's the fraud game?
Fraud game.
Fraud. Okay, I got you.
They're watering their Temu green beans with water from Palestine, Ohio.
Right? Yeah, it probably runs through that way, doesn't it?
Dude, just return it. Yeah, I don't know. I could probably. I've already used like half a roll, I think. Just fucking.
At least you got the bidet, and you're not like breaking through or something.
I know, and it's the worst time of year for the bidet too, because the water is always hot. Like at least during the winter, sometimes you get like a nice little cold spritz. You're like, ooh, hey, it kind of wakes you up in the morning. You're like, hey,
you're worth way more than one play.
Well, thank you, Shiva. Bidet masters use towels, anyways. Actually, I think I'm gonna go back to just using a sponge, like our ancestors did, and just keep a bucket of water and a sponge right next to the toilet.
A really good friend of mine, one of my best friends, when he ended up hooking up with who ended up becoming his wife, and they moved in and all that, I go over one day to use the bathroom, and before I go in, my buddy has to stop me and tell me, because he never told me that, like, they have a bidet, blah, blah, blah. I wouldn't use it because I'm like, I don't know. I guess I'm just used to wadding up paper and rubbing it up my ass, like just fucking the old scoop and roll.
Fucking animal, Templar. You're a fucking animal. Ugh.
Although I should just shower it, huh? It's just, I don't know. What if I would think it'd like start fucking running down your leg or some shit, like fucking, I don't know. It just seems.
That's what I was worried about too, but I mean, it's surprisingly accurate how it hits. And there's like 2 settings on it. There's for a feminine wash as well, so you can adjust the level.
Is it like a massage? It just like pulses it like a fucking, one of those yard fucking.
That's a poor man's bidet. You just go squat over your front yard sprinkler and get your spritz on. Oh man, yeah. So
they're popular though, dude.
What, bidets?
Yeah, I'm surprised. Tell you,
I mean, it's life changing, dude. Like, I don't know how I went my whole life without ever having one, and I've only had one for a couple of years now, ever since Lux Bidet hit me up, and I'll never go back to not having one. I'm always gonna have one now. Like I hate it when I'm out in public and I have to use the restroom.
Because you don't have one?
I hate it. I hate going over to my family's house and they don't have one. I'm like, oh my God, what am I doing? You know? But that's why Lux makes a portable bidet, which you can get at luxbidet.com. Use promo code Snoop.
But a portable one, huh?
Yeah.
Is it like one of those? Is it like one of those old school Gatorade bottles that we grew up with? Remember?
I've been told it's like a douche. So this piece pops out, and then you squeeze it, and then water shoots out. So you just kind of reach back, and you know. But yeah, this thing's awesome, man. You take it with you wherever you go. I'm taking one to Bohemian Grove with me.
Dude, you should direct market that on X to Michigan. You know what I mean? You know how you can direct market areas and then just like have that popping up on people's feeds over in that area. Because if they're going to do a lot of shit, they might as well have a bidet.
Well, that'd be great for Lux. I don't make a dime off of these things. I've never made any money.
Have your promo code on there or something. Do you get anything on the promo code or a free bidet?
Nothing.
Well, I'm sure they'll keep sending you bidets.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they let me give them away is pretty much whenever I want. They've never told me no. Like anytime I'm like, hey, can we send this person a bidet? Can we send this person a bidet? And they've always done it. And, they sent me a whole big care box with fucking...
Dude, that's awesome.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff in it. The portable,
it's smart because fucking plenty of people see it.
I was supposed to give out a portable. I don't remember what it was for, but I was giving one away, and then when I gave it away, they told me, "Hey, we don't have any more of those." I was like, "Oh shit!" So we just sent the winner a
full one.
Yeah. But I mean, these portable ones are only like $18.
Right on. Well, I'm sure it like you said, you're so used to it, so whenever you go somewhere that doesn't have it, like that kind of fucks with you, so it works. And it's not like the thing's going to be dirty or anything, it's just water coming out. So,
dude, it was funny, man. This is probably, I don't know, a month or 6 weeks or so ago. I was hanging out with my neighbors. We were just hanging out in front of my neighbor's house, just having some beers, smoking, And the one neighbor on the other side of him, we were both drinking quite a bit, and I was like, I had mentioned, that I give away bidets and stuff on my podcasts and whatnot. And so I tried to give my neighbor a bidet, and he fucking got pissed off and wanted to fight me. He's like, what am I, some type of faggot? Why do you care? Why are you trying to give me a bidet? I was like, Jesus, bro. I'm just trying to give you a clean ass, man. Like, I'm trying to change your life right now. What does this say?
Have you talked to him since then?
No. But I see him driving. Like sometimes I'll be driving out the neighborhood and I'll see him coming in, and I always go out of my way to wave real good at him, make sure he sees I'm saying hi to him. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the neighbor had to like split us up. Like he started to come at me, and I was like, "What, dude? I'm just trying to give you a bidet, bro."
He's too insecure, dude. He took it like it was some kind of assault on his masculinity. It looks like.
Yeah,
Snoop will be cleaning people's asses at Bohemian Grove for Lux bidets, of course. That's awesome, dude. Yeah. You're gonna be like the liaison.
The poop liaison. Yeah.
That's what's up. Well, dude, maybe you ask them if you could buy some at like cost. And then you can add a markup, and then you could fucking like sell them and make a good amount. You know what I mean? Plus, they're getting like.
So here's the deal: is our homie who's commenting right now, Mr. Theodore Logan, contacted them and said, "Hey, start paying my boy Snoop," and they set me up with this like affiliate program thing, and I went through the motions. I'm all set up to do it, but I don't know exactly how to do it, because like if I had a website that was drawing a lot of traffic or something, it would be worth it, because then people could just click on it and I'd get so much. And you have to run different ones. Like this one might pay you $1 for every product sold, or this other one might only pay you 40 cents or something. And so they have different rates for different ads and different like campaigns you can run. And I mean, it's just like, it seems like I'd have to be putting a lot of work in it for very little to no money, so I'd rather just give them away.
Yeah, it would have to garner a lot of, I feel you. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's just fun for me to give away, and they can keep sending them to me. It's cool.
And for Ted, it would be fun to go down. I have like just way too much going on, and I'm also broke as fuck right now. So it would be, there's like 2 reasons that I couldn't go. But nothing sounds fucking cooler than that, because it's all like the best truthers are going to be fucking out there, right? Not just the jagoffs, which is cool. Plus everyone gets to hang out with each other, dude. You know what I mean? Like, that would be my kind of like place, In real life, I'm relatively introverted. I can be extroverted, but I'd like to kind of sit back and watch. That would be a place where I'd just be fucking, somebody'd have to fucking pull my cord or, cut it.
Yeah, well, we'll have to FaceTime you in or something while you're there.
Now, I'll do that, dude. Hell yeah, that'd be awesome. Or you guys could send me some fucking footage. That would be dope.
Hell yeah.
Yes, I will. I will be there in spirit. But I think it's cool that you guys are all getting to go. I see fucking Sam Tripoli and all those guys go. Like, dude, like that's, you know what I mean? It's like Mecca for fucking conspiracy theorists, right? Like, it's fucking, that's cool. It's like Woodstock.
I hope Tripoli's there, man. I'd love to meet him.
He promotes it enough. I can't see why he wouldn't be, but I mean, it's not like I have any insight. I just assume he is based on how much I see him talking about it.
He could be the surprise guest. We won't know until the guest is revealed. I have a theory that
he's going there.
It's either going to be him or Kurt Metzger is my other guess.
Kurt Metzger is going there. I know that he's going there because he was on one of these podcasts recently, and he was talking about he was going there.
Oh, okay, cool. I wonder if he is the special guest then, because I don't think he's on the. I think he was on flyer.
Danny. No, not Danny. The other dude, because the other
Danny,
big Joe Rogan.
Dude?
Yeah, I don't know.
Duncan Trussell.
I think that is what it was. Yeah, I think that might be what it is. Anyways, but yeah, I think he said so.
Duncan Trussell and Kurt Metzger just started a podcast. It's called The Mystery Boys, I think. Don't blow up their spot. All right, though. Shoot. You got any more to say about this little parasite that's eating people's tummies up?
No, but I would keep an eye on it, because either I think one of 2 things will happen. They're going to want to milk it for, like the fear porn and shit, and kind of see where it goes. But I would also keep an eye on it as to see, like, is it something that's like spreading, and then just kind of be wary about that, because sometimes they're not honest, like what's really going on, and it could just be them trying to get ahead of this.
Yeah.
Especially since it lasts for weeks.
Yeah. I hope, I hope it doesn't spread. I hope this is just like a, freak occurrence. Maybe it's just their local water supply, but, to be in 17 other states is weird. Weird that it's that number. So.
Yeah. It's a special number there.
Dude, well, let's talk about Jeffrey Epstein, because we both brought some Epstein stuff to talk about today. I'll play your video first here.
Okay.
Let me just get it queued up here. Boom, boom, boom. So this video is talking about Epstein started 4chan. Is that what this is? I haven't watched it yet, so.
No, but Epstein started our poll on 4chan, right? The emails showed that, and he was really close with the owner there, so you could say he had a hand in 4chan itself. But we know 100% that he started our poll.
Okay.
Just a few words and an image. On Saturday, August 10th, 2019, at 8:16 a.m., a post goes up on 4chan, accompanied by a picture of what looks to be Pepe the Frog dressed as a king. It reads, "Don't ask me how I know, but Epstein died an hour ago from cardiac arrest. Screen cap this." Meanwhile, there had been no news of Epstein taking his own life in the media. In fact, many didn't believe this person was being genuine. Fake, one user responded. The original poster, or OP, went on to elaborate. Was called out as cardiac arrest at the Manhattan Federal Detention Facility. Worked asystole for 40 minutes. Another asked, how do you know? Let's say I know. Don't need a government agent coming to my crib, but they declared death at New York Presbyterian Lower Manhattan ER. So, you have no proof and you're wasting my f***ing time? Screen cap this then, brudda, and post when the news breaks. Post code summary with timestamp f***er. He was asking for the medical information. So, OP responded with a list of it. Still, nobody believed them. And then OP made their strangest post yet. Last night, after 0415 count, they took him to medical in a wheelchair, front cuffed, but not one triage nurse says they spoke to him. Next thing we know, a trip van shows up. Next thing we know, he's put in a single-man cell and himself. A guy in a green dress military outfit was in the back of the van. You guys, I'm shaking right now, but I think they switched him out. 45 minutes later, at 9 a.m., someone wrote, holy fuck, it's true, check New York Post, and they posted the links. And now, before most of the world even heard the news about Epstein's death, thanks to our OP on 4chan, people were already suspicious. It wasn't suicide. Psychopaths generally don't commit suicide. No, too self-centered to do that. By all accounts, the man was full of himself in the extreme. He was murdered. Can you have the van and people sketched out for what they looked like that killed him, OP? And some suspected he wasn't even dead. The attack on him weeks ago was plastic surgery to modify his appearance. Now that he's healed up, he's free to do whatever while they autopsy a random lookalike. After speculation started on 4chan, the theories grew. The internet cried, cover up. No one was convinced by the government's conclusion that he simply took his own life. Not even us. Later, in 2025, according to YouGov poll, Americans were split on the cause of death. Only 20% believe he took his life, 40% are unsure, 1% believe it was an accident, while 39% believe he was murdered. That means, according to this poll, 80% of Americans don't trust the narrative given to them by their government.
So, I mean, that video is pretty long. I don't know if there's anything else worth playing in there. What do you think?
So that brings up, like, we know, like, those posts happen, right? Like, it's all legit, it's archived. What it makes some good, one, the concept that the attack that had taken place prior was really just cover to give him facial surgery and allow him time to heal up, to me, I think makes a lot of sense, right? Because we already know that there was a...
I don't remember him hearing about him being attacked. I remember he had tried to commit suicide, so he was already on suicide watch.
Yeah, when that whole thing was right when he got attacked, and then and then that's how it got presented to the public. Oh, but yeah, no, he got attacked. His cellmate was this, like, fucking big ex-cop that was in there for murdering people and shit, right?
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Blue.
What's up, Blue? Thanks for the repost.
But the point that I become suspicious of is, okay, one, Epstein is very familiar with our poll, right? And he is a narcissist, right? So it wouldn't surprise me that the post that hit 4chan would be Jeffrey Epstein himself, basically outing his own death, but with a little, panache, like, hey, they switched him out. Because that's what the video ends up showing, is he starts posting about how they had switched him out and they had a decoy and all that shit, and dude was worried. So it's almost like, almost like a narcissist kind of laughing and kind of telling the public, but they're too dumb to notice it or to put it together.
Well, it's really interesting, seeing this and knowing that there's this Palm Beach Pete guy out there now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got a video on that. What up, Beret? Thanks for the repost.
Yep. And what's up, Peace?
Let me play that video. It's pretty short.
Hey everybody, where's Palm Beach Pete now?
Let it play again.
Hey everybody, where's Palm Beach Pete now?
So, I mean, when you see that like that, when they, do the ear tuck back and the jaw and the teeth, like, I mean, I guess it's possible.
I mean, it could be, and, I'm sure they do shit like this a lot, right? Like, I'm sure Elaine Max or Ghislaine Maxwell probably already got a fucking face tuck, and they just use, like they throw somebody out to run the fucking yard every now and again, and they're like, there she is, because remember that picture where it was like, look nothing like her? No, dude, like, she's so affluent. Look who her dad was. She's not sitting in a fucking cell, right? For the most part, Jeffrey Epstein probably wasn't really either, if you really think about it. But yeah, so they could either have him out like that, or he was just like, fuck this shit, I'm leaving, get me out of here. And he didn't even bother with facial construction. Because if he's off over in, a different country or something like that, he's already going to be able to control, for the most part, the information that gets out. They could just flag that image, Let
me ask you a question. Like, let's say, that Palm Beach Pete is Epstein. Why, after going through all of this shit, why would you want to come back and be in the public profile like that and blatant right in everybody's face? Like, he's in the same neighborhood. He's flying Epstein's old plane. He looks just like him. I mean,
because of that, because it's flaunting in front of you. It's literally flaunting it, and there's nothing, it's a narcissist's dream. Haha, look, I'm duping them, and there's nothing they can do about it because I'm Palm Beach Pete. You know what I mean? Like, that would make a lot of sense. And to just be so blatant in it and to feel like, haha, I'm so smart. Not only did I do some of the most atrocious shit ever, I got away with it. And I'm flaunting it to them, and they're too stupid to realize
it. Disgusting. I mean, and, part of it is these 3-letter organizations and foreign organizations as well, that are really allowing it to happen. It's like, there's no reason that this should be happening. There's no reason it should be allowed. It just, it makes you sit back and wonder, like, well, what the fuck chance do we have as a society if these things are all true? And it seems like more and more become true as time goes, so, I mean, what the fuck?
And there's no accountability for it, right? There's no accountability for it, and the people are accepting it. So all that means is more will be there, right? They're not going to stop out of the goodness of their heart, right? Oh, they caught us. Guess we'll give that up. No, they're just going to be like, well, okay, they don't have pitchforks. They don't have fucking torches. They're not storming the castle. Only a few of them are really paying attention to it. Yeah, go full speed ahead. I mean, we literally told them, we released it all out there. If they don't give a shit, go max. Right? Like, why wouldn't they? And that's probably why they have this, they don't give a shit attitude on how, like, whether it's the data centers or whatever. At this point, they're like, like, really, if people aren't going to be upset that you're raping their children, that you're eating their children, that you're abusing their children, if that's not going to affect people in mass quantities enough that the blowback forces you to definitely have to quit it or take it way underground, you know what I mean? Then, I mean, that's a delight for them. They're in a great situation. More, because we're so above the cattle at that point. I mean, well, that should give you a gauge of where we are.
It seems like people hear these things, about Epstein and Ghislaine and all these pedophiles out there, but nobody, I shouldn't say nobody, but it seems like a big portion of people still don't want to believe it.
Mm-hmm. Well, also look at the way that they released the Epstein information, okay? First,
what information? They haven't even released anything.
Well, follow me here. So they got, there was the whole original saga that got him behind bars in the first place, right? So that you got that aspect. And then you got the, like, will or won't they bring him to justice and all that kind of saga, right? And will or won't they release the information, right? And they keep hitting different aspects, but they gap it out, right? They let weeks or months go by, and then it'll become a topic again, and something will get thrown out on it. And then they let weeks or months go by, and then they throw a little bit more. The reason they do it like that is to desensitize you, because the first time you were probably the most upset. The second time you were probably still upset. By the third time, I mean, these other times you're more upset, but now you've already come to kind of terms with it just because the time proximity alone. You know what I mean? They know what they're doing. They understand how people work and they use it to their benefit. Like that, you know what I mean? That's why people aren't fucking going crazy. And then on top of it, they poison the field. So while they release that, they got people fighting about fucking Charlie Kirk and this and that. And you know what I mean? So it divides the attention and it just makes it so much easier to get away with it, you know?
Yeah. And you know what, dude? This is nothing new. This has been going on for quite some time. And they've been throwing it right in our faces the whole time, too. This kind of ties into what we're talking about right now with Epstein. But before Epstein, there was a Hugh Hefner. And what's even more sicker is the parents of Brooke Shields who allowed this. Let me play this video real quick.
Shields was on the cover of Playboy at 10 years old?
Something like that.
12 years old? Something like that? 12 maybe?
And
they asked why she was able to do that. It said, it's documented that the mother approved of it.
And
the
but
mother
she
gave
was
consent.
nude, is that right?
She
was nude.
Wait. Yep. Hold on. Let's fact check that real quick.
My body
It's
is getting
true.
warm.
The truth behind 10-year-old Brooke Shields' nude Playboy photos. Brooke Shields was just 10 when photographer Gary Gross took photos of her posing nude in a bathtub in 1975. I mean, and this goes on, and I can't even do it.
I don't know what the legal system was but this is where the bar is set extremely, extremely low.
It's very disturbing as I continue to read it.
Shields was on the cover.
Ooh. If you remember, in the 80s, there's a video out there of Brooke Shields making out with that teenage boy, too. Like they're at a birthday party. I'll see if I can find it.
Yeah.
If you want to talk while I'm looking.
About too.
But it's just like, how is that even allowed? I mean, that's just fucking insane.
Dude, what's interesting is, so, you know, like Playboy has like two kind of sides on the way people view it, right? Like some people look at it and they're like, it's absolute smut, but they came and they desensitized people so that, you know, like by the time Hustler and all that came around, you know, that was the extreme. That was actually the smut. So Playboy was able to kind of bridge itself into kind of like this artistic magazine for men, right? They were able to get people to rationalize that. And then through that, they were able to feed that sick sensation because, like, you know, we all know about the tunnels under the Playboy Mansion and shit like that. You know, like Hugh Hefner was essentially Jeffrey Epstein. Like, sex was on the table. That's why you went to the Playboy Mansion, because you knew there was going to be sex, right? You knew there were going to be the parties. You knew there were going to be the girls, right? And you got invited to that. You didn't just get to walk there. You had to be invited. So there was also like this prestige and esteem. And, you know, like the people that go there, that's the Hollywood elites and the music elites and stuff. They're all, you know, deep into this. So what I wonder is how the hell did they get the public, the general public, to not just have massive blowback, right? Like, how did the everyday person, when that story originally, like, people were that far gone there or just oblivious to it? Were they able to hide it more? But they weren't. It was a national thing. Everybody knew.
Yeah, well, I imagine that, you know, in 1975 they didn't have the internet. They, you know, it probably wasn't breaking news on TV. You know, the issue for Playboy probably went on the stands and people probably bitched about it, but, you know, there was probably no big national story about it. I found the video, and it was my mistake. I said Brooke Shields, but it's actually Demi Moore, and this, you know, goes right along the same lines of it. But check this out. Demi Moore with a 15-year-old boy on his birthday.
Okay, one more time.
Why do you think black music come out?
I don't know. Maybe just because I love them all and I hope they all love me.
We do love him.
And I love them.
It's just grooming after grooming after grooming.
Who the hell is that kid? Whose kid is that?
I don't know.
You know? Because that's young, hot Demi Moore, right? But totally open and okay with it. And everybody around her, nobody's like, what the fuck are you doing to that kid? Nobody's yelling, what are you doing to my son? So like it's clearly accepted, right? And he's so like it wasn't like the first thing. It wasn't like a birthday, hey, shock kiss, right? Like there's like a comfort there, like this is a reoccurring thing. He is so confident and calm in that shit. Like that's wild.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you mentioned the tunnels in Los Angeles, which I wasn't planning on playing this, but since we're there, let's watch this.
So wait,
yes,
there's no tunnel. Well, you're going off there.
Well, there's tunnels, obviously, but
I got one.
You got to cut that out. You can't say that. I'm admitting that because they talk about the tunnels in
they
Brooklyn.
did find tunnels in Brooklyn.
Yes, but no one's ever publicly said that there are Jewish tunnels in Hollywood.
Yeah.
And I would like you to cut that out.
I will cut that out. I'll give you the whole episode. You can prove it.
Okay.
That's on camera.
Okay, cut that out. There's no one's ever said it. I'm saying it, and I know you're going to cut it out, that there are Jewish tunnels, exclusively Jewish tunnels in.
We can't talk about it. I'm not going to talk about it.
Well, you've never been in it. So that's the thing. You didn't even know about it, let alone being it.
But you say I can't keep it in.
I'm kidding. Keep it in. That's a good clip.
What's a Jewish tunnel?
What's a Jewish tunnel? What's a Los Angeles Jewish tunnel?
Like it goes right under the cantors? You got a fucking table? Where are we at? What are we talking about?
It starts at Cantors.
One match ball. They're open past midnight now.
It starts at Cantors, and then I mean, this is 2026. So originally, it just started at Cantors.
Yeah, that shit goes all the way to Factors.
Factors, and then we're going right to Paramount.
Yeah,
Warner Brothers. Take your, when there's traffic, you could walk through the Jewish tunnels and skip traffic.
But
the 405 ain't got shit on the Jewish tunnels.
I love how you claim them as Jewish tunnels.
Not claim them; they are Jewish tunnels.
So what are they used for?
Jews moving things around, carting things around.
So you're saying this is true?
Yes, Jewish tunnels of Los Angeles. This breaking news. The Jewish tunnels of Los Angeles are real. I've been in there. Every Jew has been in there many times.
Say word.
Ask me a Jewish
Say
person.
word.
And tell me. I'll tell you if I've seen him in the tunnels. Name a Jewish person.
What's his face?
Name a Jewish Hollywood person.
Ari Emanuel.
Yes. Duh.
Wow.
Yeah. Duh. There's the Burgess Meredith line. He's got his own fucking line. They named it after he passed. Go on. Paul Newman's got. I mean, I remember I see
Paul Newman, by the way, is Jewish.
In the 90s, I saw Paul Newman down in the Jewish tunnels. The blue eyes are beautiful.
I see what you're trying to say. There is no Jewish tunnels by saying there's Jewish tunnels. I see what you're doing.
No, I'm telling you.
People are going to run with that.
I'm acknowledging there's Jewish tunnels.
Do you know the term in plain sight? Are you doing it in plain sight?
No, I am telling you that I am acknowledging the Jewish tunnels as a real thing.
So there you have it. They're a real thing. And I don't know if you've heard, I've heard that these tunnels, there's like an actual Starbucks down in the tunnels that they can get coffee and shit.
Yeah, I heard the same thing. So like if they want to go from LA to the airport or whatever, that there's a whole subsystem that will take them there, and that it's got fucking restaurants and shit. Like there's this whole thing. So what he's saying, even though he's saying it and like you can't tell if I'm telling you the truth kind of thing, I'm willing to bet the answer is yes. You know what I mean? I'm willing to bet that he's being honest, that is in fact, take his word for it. And did you notice he said carting things around and moving things around down there? I mean, it sounds feasible and realistic and on par.
Yeah, well, I mean, if you look at like when the Playboy Mansion was sold, they went in and did all kinds of construction,
Yep.
Similar to what they did on Epstein Island. Got a couple of them tunnels up.
Yep. And we know that a tunnel went to Warren Beatty's house. We know a tunnel went to Jack Nicholson's house. We know that a tunnel went to Douglas's house, the father. Those are, I think, the three main ones that I know. But so you could go down there in this network, and that kept you safe from everyone above, right? So yeah, they probably have something that keeps them away from the peasants, them and just the elites in general, right? Like fucking that would make sense. That's why they got the Starbucks underground tram thing.
Dude, I heard there was a former butler of the Playboy Mansion was on I can't remember whose podcast I seen him on, but he was talking about James Caan used to have his own room at the Playboy Mansion, and he was into anal, so he would have to have these girls clean out their buttholes, and he would have lube in his room ready to go, and it was all prepared for him and everything, ready to go.
Dude, and
dude,
you know,
go ahead.
No, you.
Well, I was going to say we should totally do like a bonus content episode or something about all the tunnels all across America. It's not just in LA and not just in New York. There's tunnels that go from coast to coast.
You know, and the more I look into it, the more it's like seems to be true. And I know that I started looking into it, you know, for like small towns, and then it got bigger and bigger. And I'm familiar with like tunnels being in a lot of main streets and shit like that in towns and shit. So it's like the more you look into it, it's like, you know, what were they doing? And then it's like, well, if it's been going on this long, what the fuck do they got down there at this point, right? Like if it goes lights out for us up here, I mean, they're still going to survive. The elites, whomever, you know, I imagine it's pretty safe down there. And we all know that Elon's got his boring company, but we haven't heard about any of the major projects that he's completed or whatever. But there's been a lot of boring going on for a lot of years. So who knows what's going on there too?
I think Las Vegas is coming along, and I don't know how close they are to being done with it, but I know that there's been a lot of work in Vegas with the Boring Company. So, hey, Blue, I can't open that link from the chat. So if you want, you can DM me on X. Just send it to me in DM. Poppy Garcia says, James Caan living the dream. Oh, James Caan living the dream. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, think about how easy that is, right? Like if you're Hugh Hefner or his handlers, right, and you're selling sex essentially, not selling it, but that's what people come there for, right? Your pleasure island, just like Jeffrey Epstein, essentially. Like after that, you can pretty much get whatever you want from somebody, and you can pretty much have them do whatever the fuck you want, right? Because you're providing them one of the biggest, you know, outlets for their pleasure and degeneracy, right? And they're going to want to keep coming back to that, and you're going to be like their concierge to get them that, you know, like imagine what they must have people tangled up with, you know, like can you imagine how fucking grimy it gets?
No,
the more depraved you go, the more you want to do shit. That's how you get frazzle drip, you know?
Yeah, it's like the shit that we know about. How much crazier can it get? Like, I like to think I'm a creative person, but damn, you know, these people take it to a whole nother level of sickness and here's what Blue just sent. Shout out Blue Montauk. If you haven't seen her on the Here's the Thing episode, go check it out. It's available on all your formats. But this is, I guess, Palm Beach Pete saying he would never change his name back.
How much would somebody have to legally pay you to change your name back to Jeffrey Epstein?
I would never change my name back.
Can I call you Jeff?
No.
Why?
Because I'm not him. Call me Peter, please. Thank you. I prefer Peter. That's my given name. By the way, where'd you get this suit? It's really smashing. Where'd you get that suit? Seriously. You're not going to tell me? Okay.
And so, you're not Epstein?
Nah. Not Epstein. Palm Beach Pete. I had my own life, and we made Palm Beach Pete an outgoing, fun guy.
And did you ever meet him? It's like
hey,
I'm looking at him in the eyes.
You are. I actually have a twin.
You do?
I do. I have a twin brother.
Epstein?
Gary.
Awesome, Blue.
You should have done a better job covering this all up.
Yeah, I should have. People thinking I'm Epstein, and I'm not, so I give it to a
But you are.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't. You know, I don't know if I'm convinced yet that this really is him. I mean, there's a lot of compelling evidence, like we watched with the ears and the jaws thing, and I mean, it's I know El Poopy's 100% convinced on it. I don't know. I mean, I just don't know.
Think about it. He tries to portray like he doesn't want to be, labeled Jeffrey Epstein, right? And he's getting, people are like, but at the same point, you see him like whether he is or isn't, he definitely takes a lot of pleasure that people are questioning if he is or isn't, right? And I would think Jeffrey would get much more duper delight. Like that sinister fucking Grinch looking face pullback smile that he did, that's like that fucking, he looks like a predator. And he looked like that when he was talking to Steve Bannon. There were a couple times where you seen him go out from that fucking like softer persona more into that kind of devious fucking it's a smile,
Okay.
but it's like a shark.
Why, if this is, I think like what you kind of just said, he's playing into this, pretty heavily, and I think that's what he would naturally do if all of a sudden, he was already a rich guy living in that area, and then one day somebody noticed, hey, that dude kind of looks like Jeffrey Epstein, and then it just became this viral sensation. So I think he is feeding into it because he's probably getting some sort of monetary benefit from it. He's probably loving the attention, because he's obviously a rich dude. I don't know if he's a billionaire, but I mean, he's got his own planes and shit, so he's doing pretty good. And so maybe he's just loving all of this media attention that he's getting. And so then I also have to question, why is he going on this podcast like that? I don't know that dude's name. His name is Matan something. But like he's like, why is he going on that dude's podcast if he's doing shows like Steve Bannon and other shit like that? This is like a comedy podcast. This isn't like a serious thing.
Because like you said, regardless of if he is or isn't Epstein, he's doing it for the attention. He loves being in front of anyone who's going to look, essentially, right? Like he's eating it up. Because everybody, is he or isn't he? That thrill, I think that's what thrills him, is that there's that question. Nobody knows except him. Everybody has their suspicions, but only he really knows.
Yeah. And I also got to imagine that being this type of person, he's probably had some plastic surgery done himself. So
that would be true.
I don't know. I think he just fits the mold for, just faking it.
The head shape and the pronouncement over the lip and that very unique mouth. Those lips with that kind of, it's almost like how the Jack Nicholson, when he was wearing the tuxedo in Batman, he just put on a little bit of that lipstick right there and then kind of gave himself a real thin kind of thing. Like Jeffrey Epstein's face kind of does that naturally with the lips, which creates like an uneasiness when he smiles, because it's almost like a predatory smile, kind of like something like, yeah, come a little bit closer, and he has the same mouth thing, but I don't know. It could be just him getting off because he's a doppelganger.
Will we ever know the truth, Templar? Do you think we'll ever...
What a claim to fame.
Do you think we'll ever know the truths about a lot of this shit that's been going on in the world? Like, we talk about so much different stuff and we're just speculating on it. We're not claiming to know these things are 100% true or not true, but do you think we'll ever see some sort of truth? Because even if the truth comes out, people still won't believe it.
That's true. And maybe that's why they've started laying out AI and, shit, so, they could blur the reality of what's real and what isn't, so they could get plausible deniability. Oh, no, that's not me, that's a deep fake. But at the same point, put it out there. I don't know. I hope so. I like to believe that what's done in the dark eventually comes out in the light, right? And that eventually it will all come out in the light. I just don't know if it's going to be any time like soon or in a good way for us,
Yeah.
Like
You mentioned
it's going to be a big fight. It's not going to be easy. They're not just going to be like, oh, here it is.
you mentioned AI, and I just want to talk about this real quick before we wrap it up. It just announced today, Tilly Norwood, the AI actor who sparked a frenzy of anger in Hollywood in late 2025, will be put in a lead role of a new movie. Misaligned, announced by the AI-focused studio Particle 6, is described as a comedy drama telling a coming-of-age story infused with existential AI chaos. So there it is, an AI getting a leading role in a movie. This is the beginning of the end, huh?
You know, they've been talking about this day coming since damn near like when they launched Toy Story, right? Like eventually we're going to have digital actors or whatever. But this is such a certain type of person kind of thing to do because like you've created this bullshit talent and you're going to rake in massive loads of money, right? Because I'm sure that AI agent or the owner of that is going to just be like, you know, getting the 10, $20 million deals at some point, right? Like that's, and to know that, you know, they're just going to be able to create that shit on demand. Like everything's just becoming so artificial. That's really what it is. We're leaving reality and we're going digital, and we have been for a while. And I think we're just at the final stages of it, and we're far enough along that it's kind of like, you know, oh shit, we're boiling.
Well, I pray for a better future for us, you know, but it's really tough to imagine at this point, you know, like we're getting so far gone that will we ever be able to return to any sort of normalcy without, you know, a reset of some sort, you know? Is this what happens?
No
Is this what keeps happening? And this is why we have these resets, you know? Like, is this these instead of mud floods, we have, yeah. Anyways, well,
welcome to the technocratic future. Technocracy. We love it.
We love it. And everybody go over to the phoneboothpodcast.substack.com. Check it all out. Tons of amazing content on there. You could spend a month on here and still not see everything. I do want to plug the merch store since we didn't plug that earlier. Go check out the threads on there. There's coffee mugs. And they're reasonably
cheaper
priced.
than these, and it is also better. It's cooler stuff. So you don't just get the rodent, man. Look how awesome it is. Even Jonah's shirt there at the bottom. Fucking awesome.
Rocking the phone booth tour shirt today. Can't wait till I get the next one shipped in because I'm going to be styling at Bohemian Grove. But also want to plug one more time Mr. Can Am Bullion and Michael Piccioni. Let's go update the prices and see where we're at. Just in the last 2 hours, it's gone down. So
but by a few dollars, nothing's
0.34%. So it's nothing. It's a third.
Yeah, you don't want it to just stand still. So up and down movement is going to happen all throughout, you know, because people are trading it. So it's going to go like this. But what you don't want is some long, huge down dip, and especially something that continues, which, you know, is the benefit, in my opinion, for like gold and silver, is because it retains its value, right? Its worth. Unlike the dollar, which every time I turn around, I can buy less and less with at the store, you know, like, Dude, it was like $6 and change for a pound of fucking ground beef, bro. It was crazy.
Bro, I fucking, oh man. I don't typically shop at Walmart. I fucking hate giving them any of my money, but they have these frozen hamburger patties that I've been enjoying because they're stuffed with cheese and bacon. And they used to be $10 for a 6-pack, $14 now, 40% overnight.
Yep. Dude, I seen that all over the place. I shop even at Aldi's, so I like my genetically modified food, right? But even there, you see shit that's increase by $1 plus, it's everywhere, and it's way outshined inflation, right? Which is at like technically 4%. But if your boss gives you a raise, on average, it's going to be somewhere in the area of 2 or 3%. So you have a situation here where inflation and the cost of living and everything is higher than what you're getting to come in. So that's just more money getting picked out of your pockets. That's just more resources being pulled from you, right? But what's keeping its value? Gold, silver, continues to either go up or hold it, platinums, things like that. The American dollar is going to transition at some point. We all know it's going to go to like digital currency, some form of it. I mean, it is what it is, right? And that's going to happen after the dollar goes bust. But
yeah. Well, Mr. Templar, I thank you for spending the last couple hours with me. It's always a blast. I've stopped telling people where I get my meat. This is where we are at. Find a source and don't tell anyone. Yeah, no doubt.
That's true. That's actually, yes. Hell yes.
Get your local source and keep it fresh and not funky.
Right.
All right, Mr. Templar. We'll see you next week. Good night, everybody.
Good, y'all. Thank you very much. Thanks for joining. Bye, Cram. Bye, Blue. Bye, Poppy.
We'll see you guys next time.